I think that being around you feels like a warm hug to people. I think that something about your energy is incredibly healing. And I'm definitely speaking to someone who is a healer in this life. You may not practice healing, like that may not be your profession, but you may have been called to do healing work, or you could be someone in your community that I am thinking of someone who's like a pillar of their community in a way. And this doesn't have to be loud. This doesn't have to be a title that you have or like something that you feel is necessarily like your role in society. This could just be in your immediate circle, your immediate community. So, this could be with your friends. This could be with people who just come across you like at the bank, in the drive through, like you're running errands, you go to work, you take your dog on a walk. Like, whoever you are, you come across to people as a literal angelic being, okay? The light around you could be very significant. Like, you could notice that maybe in photos, like, there's kind of like a soft hue around you in pictures, or like something about you feels like a light to people or appears as a light. Like, you literally walk through the world and you are a light. And yes, you are a physical, human experiencing this life, your soul experiencing being a human, and that light shines through, that light from your soul. You could resonate with being a star seed, or someone who it like feels like you're not from here. You could resonate with being a very, very old soul, a very ancient soul. Like, you have experienced earth, you experienced many lifetimes. You feel very much like someone who holds a lot within yourself. Like, you're very strong, but like that's not really the word that I'm looking for, although that might be a word that people use to describe you. So you might hear people say that, like, you're so strong, I don't know how you do it. You don't look like what you've been through. You could be someone who resonates with being the person that just like manages to come out on top of like some of the craziest situations, or when you have hit a place of like rock bottom, you take that momentum and you turn it into power. You turn it into life. You are someone who is a force to be reckoned with. You are a force of life. Like, I think you could be a light worker. You're someone that light emanates from, like light works through you. You could have like angel wings or angelic sort of symbolism or imagery tattooed on you. It could be like your phone screen, like your wallpaper. You could be very drawn to angels and angelic symbols, angelic figures in your life. You might see a lot of signs related to angels, angel numbers, specifically angel numbers that aren't like the typical ones. So you could see like 4-digit numbers a lot, or you could see certain numbers that like remind you of something, like maybe your birthday. 544 could be significant to someone. It feels like your presence has this effect on people that I think you know by now. Like, I feel like you already know this about yourself. Like, you have noticed this, you've become aware, you've become conscious, you've awoken to your own power and your own presence in the world. But it feels like you're still learning how to balance who you are with your environment, with the circumstances set before you in your existence, because maybe your life doesn't necessarily reflect like your energetic and spiritual knowing. You might notice that like things in the 3D, right? They take a while to kind of like reflect what you've already processed, what you've already worked through, what you've already alchemized in your life, in your spiritual life. You could be someone who loves to meditate. You might like to spend time outside. You might be very connected to nature, very connected to trees, flowers, birds, bunnies, like very natural, very soft and warm in who you are. I think you're also still learning the duality in your life, the different elements of yourself. I think you're still blending different aspects of yourself that maybe at times feel very at odds with each other. Like there's an inner conflict that happens. You could also resonate with being like healing your feminine energy or being really in your feminine energy at this time. Like you're learning to receive, you're learning to attract things to you, you're learning to create again from just like a new source, like a new flow. And we also have the 9 of Wands. So I think you're someone who has certainly experienced a lot in your life. This could be from your soul, right? You could have been through a lot of very karmic lifetimes, very difficult experiences throughout your life here or previous lifetimes. I think that you are someone that people look up to and they respect. And there's something about you that is just incredibly powerful, but it's understated. It's not super obvious. Like you don't feel like someone who's like very loud and arrogant and like you want everyone to know who you are. It feels like you are just known. Like there is a quiet power. There's something very stabilizing about your energy. It feels like you might be someone who, like, when you walk into a space, like if it's like really chaotic or there's a lot going on, the energy seems to shift. Like things seem to kind of like get softer, quieter, calms down. You could be someone who naturally feels like a safe space for people. And I think at times, like, you've had to learn boundaries with this because people might come to you. And this isn't something that I think they're doing super consciously, although some people might do this intentionally. But it feels like sometimes unconsciously people are drawn to you because your energy is really healing and it's actually very loving naturally. So people are drawn to you. You might notice like people staring at you a lot, people talking to you randomly, like when you're in line at the grocery store, or you get compliments, or it feels like people just like tune into you when you enter a space, when you walk into a room, when you go somewhere. Like you literally might feel like the energy like shifts towards you. And it's because something about you is so magnetic and so powerful, and yet it's like understated. Like you're not trying to be the center of attention. You're not trying to necessarily be this like powerful figure. I think you just are. And I think that like you're also maybe learning that like these experiences that you've had have allowed you to become a very discerning, very honest, very straight person within yourself, as in like you may have dealt with a lot of instability and inconsistency, maybe sort of like unhealthy patterns, unhealthy environments for a long time. But as you began to be this healer in yourself, because it feels like you healed yourself first, and you probably had help, you probably had support from your angels, your guides, source, whatever you follow, whatever you feel is resonant with you. I think you've been extremely supported in this journey, and at times you may not have felt that way, but I think at this time of your life you're aware of that. Like you see it in your life. You might be able to look back on your life and see where that angelic support actually came through, or like when you prayed for something and you received, like you had that prayer answered, or you wanted something and you became what you wanted and you then received it. Like I think you're seeing how you are such a magnet to the things that are in alignment with you now. And holy hell, like you're powerful. And maybe right now you're learning how to step into this power in a new way. In your own life, maybe you're learning how to use your voice, or maybe the way that you want to use your voice, maybe the way that you want to take this power and turn it into something. I feel like you're moving out of a time potentially of like conflict or heartache. Ravens could be significant for you. Also, you could be an air sign, or you could have like significant air placements in your chart. But I feel like your inner truth and your inner light is genuinely shining so bright. It's so bright. Please, please, please do not dim your light, and don't shy away from the opportunities and the experiences that are going to lead you to use this power and use your voice in a new way, because it's very significant to this next chapter of your journey and the next chapter of your timeline.